Um, well, I want to start this with a little story so then you guys can have a little bit of an insight into my life. But 7 years ago when we got here, I came first, and Miguel arrived a couple months later. And although I've been teaching English as a foreign language for now, it seems forever, but almost 20 years, I didn't have time to teach my own son because I would work from 7:30 in the morning. Sometimes I got home at 9:30 at night, and Miguel would be sleeping. If I was lucky, I would have a chance to put him in bed. But so I didn't have a chance to teach him anything. And when he got here, he knew nothing, not even words or anything. So I got him. He was in first grade, and I taught him some expressions, just like survival mode. If something happens to you, to say, "I need my mom," because it was in the same school, or "I need to go to the bathroom," or that kind of stuff. And he started, and of course I was the only ESL teacher at school, so he was my ESL student. And the fun thing is that about 3 months later, he got here on my birthday, so September 15th. In December, before I went out for the school break, his first grade teacher called me, and she said, we had a meeting about him, and she said, "I think Miguel is ready to stay in the classroom." By that point, 2 months, Miguel was already speaking. He wasn't fluent, but he could understand, and he could speak English by that. And
did you speak with him at home English, or did you?
That's the thing. Luckily, I'm a teacher, and I speak both languages. And our house was almost like a science experiment. We had Post-its all over the walls. We watched all these little movies, and so I was teaching him not only in my ESL classroom. I was teaching him 24 hours a day. Everything he would eat, and I had pictures. I couldn't find it anymore, but the little kitchen we had, it was the kitchen here in the dining room all in ones, and we had these doors where my washer and dryer were, and they closed, and it was covered in little Post-its with pictures and words. Pictures and words, and he would be eating and looking at. I was brainwashing my own kid. But it turned out pretty good, and I wanted just for you guys to have a little bit of my own story to understand that it would be awesome if we could count on our parents to do that job at home, like to continue our job at home. Unfortunately, we don't, because the reality is that 98% of our Hispanic parents don't speak English, so they can't do that. The kids rely on us to do that, and their friends in the classroom to do that. And that brings me to the next point, which is what I do in my classroom. To be honest with you, 30 minutes a day, I can't do much for these kids, especially being in charge of. Right now I have 81. Last year I had 98. So it varies a lot, but still it's a whole lot of kids. And it defeats, I could have each group longer than that if I squished them. Instead of having 3 second grade groups, if I had a big second grade group. But would it be the whole point of the ESL class? Because the point of me being here and serving them is for the small group setting and the one-on-one, so it would defeat the purpose. But I can't make the newcomers talk or understand by myself in a month. I can't make these kids score 3s and 4s seeing them, but I think we can work together as a team. So then what I do in my classroom can be continued when they go to your classrooms, and what you do in your classrooms can be linked to what I do in my classroom. So what I've been doing, I feel the redness coming. Okay. Well, I'm going to take off my coat. Just the coat, I promise. But, can you cut that from the video? Okay.
I will do that for you.
No. No. So, what I wanted you guys to have a chance to know what I do, because I know Most of you really don't because you can't. Hopefully you'll be able to come visit me sometime. But my main thing has been for the past 2 years, and ESL has changed a lot, and ESL is still so different from one school to another. I can't tell you what other ESL teachers do because we're not asked to do a certain thing. We have our standards, and then you use your creativity or you go with the school needs or students' needs. But what I do, I believe in building vocabulary. There is and I have stuff, if anybody likes research as much as I love to say, according to research. But if anybody likes research as much as I do, there's a whole lot of research that states, one after another, that the beginning or the beginning point or the most important thing for these kids is building their vocabulary. They can't read well if they don't have the vocabulary. And they can't write if they don't have the vocabulary. And one thing kind of links to another, because if you don't have the words, you can't read. But the most you read, the more words you have and you acquire. And research also says that when a kid starts in kindergarten, they have an average of, a native speaker has an average of 5,000 words already at least. Our kids coming here, come here with none or very few words. So they already have, they start with this gap already that we need to go after and try to help them with. So what I do in my classroom is I work on the vocabulary pretty much full time. And I'm very lucky to have the whole M class thing. And I use that a lot. Last year, when did we start M class? 2 years ago? When we started this, Sam gave me full access to all the testing and results and data you guys put in there. So I can go and I can see exactly which skills the kids are lacking and work on those skills as well. So this is what I've been doing. Come over and watch me. That's what I do in a Jedi kind of way, because that's just how it is. I like to play. I like to have fun. The day I'm told I can't have fun in my classroom anymore, I'll probably not do this. But I do have fun with them. But if you walk around and I'm jumping around, I'm still teaching, believe me. So it's just my way to do it. But I was asked to share with you guys a couple of strategies. And I thought, okay, so much has been shared already, and probably what I'm going to tell you or show you right now, you've already seen so many times. But you know what? It's like when we're teaching our kids something, or when we're talking to them about something. We keep repeating ourselves and hoping that it's getting stuck in there. So that's what I hope, is that even though I keep repeating myself to you guys every time I'm asked to talk, hopefully something will be used or applied in your classroom. So instead of typing something to give you in a sheet of paper, I thought that or sending you an email that you could probably lose, because I lose my emails all the time. And I thought I could put on my web page. There you go. I thought I could put on my web page and have it as a resource and add to it throughout the year, and you could just go there and check it out. So here we go. My assistant.
I just want to say that the kids really enjoy ESL. Kayla Rowe even asked if she could go to ESL. She was like, they just have so much fun. Can I go to ESL? I'm like, Kayla, sit down. No, you can't. Maybe another day you can go do observation.
Yeah, that makes me happy. Even when it comes to 5th grade, sometimes they kind of roll their eyes on me when it's time to come, but I know it's not personal. I know they love me as a person. It's just that attitude that they get when they cross that line. No,
They do that in 5th grade. 4th
They
grade,
do.
They have not started. They still love to go.
And I know that's it. They want to be in those groups. They want to belong over. It's the whole, I belong to this group, and they're starting to make these teenage connections. But I know they love me. I don't take it personally. So there you go, Mrs. Henning's class. Welcome. So when you go to the left right there, you will see ESL schedule and ESL news and ESL support. That's where I'm going to start putting stuff for you or for whoever, for the world. You can click now. Thank you. And look, professional development. So regarding the building vocabulary, I thought that would be nice to share with you the SIAP model. I'm sure you guys have heard about it. If you haven't, I will put stuff in there too. But they have, for vocabulary, building vocabulary, they have this 4 main things. And I'm going to read quick. The number 1 says, students should be active in developing their understanding of words and ways to learn them. And he gives examples of word sorts and concept maps, which would be to manipulate these words. Because we talk, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit down there, but we saw the Excel model last year. And unless the kids are manipulating these words and using the words at least 8 times, that's what they say, they're not going to own them. They're going to read them and forget about them, or forget how to use them in a context, or forget what they mean. Number 2 is students should personalize word learning through such practices as vocabulary self-collection strategy, which means a personal dictionary. So I want to show something that I've been doing with my students in my class now, because, okay, I have my word walls. They're all there. They're beautiful. But then when they leave, what happens? What about when they're home? What about so I'm making what we're calling our word folder, which is each kid will have this, and once we have this ready, they're going to take with them, and they're going to keep it. But what it has is, and I can pass around, it's like a